Welcome to my Creative Art by Monica video. Today I wanted to show you how to make magnets with your acrylic paint skins. I've had some people ask me what I do with my skins afterwards. If they're nice looking skins, I will keep them and then I will make magnets with them. So I will show you what I do. It's a very long process because it takes at least 24 to 48 hours for your paint to dry after doing your painting. So you do have to wait for the skins to completely dry before you can peel them off your plastic. I always use plastic when I'm doing my painting. So once it's dry, then you can very carefully bring up a corner. And if it breaks, it's okay. Just try to save the best looking part of your skin. So of course I'm not using this one because it's simply white, but just to show you that it is thick, because you want a thicker consistency for your paint skin, because if it is too thin, it will not hold itself together, because once you add the epoxy glue, it will get all gummy and then your magnet's ruined. So I suggest that you only try to keep the skins that you have that are thicker, because if they're thin, yeah, no good. So just a couple of examples of skins that I have kept from other paintings, like something like this, and you can see I've already done some cutouts because I have already prepared some. But just to give you an idea. So of course, based on how your paint goes, there's some really cool little designs in your paint skins that make really fun magnets. So just to show you the process and the things that I use, from Michaels, I get the epoxy E6000 glue. It's non-flammable and it dries clear. Also, I find that the smell is not too bad, but I recommend that you use a very well ventilated area to use this, because if it isn't too enclosed of a space, you will then smell the glue as it's drying. I use the flexible magnet buttons from Dollarama. This is the best deal that you are ever going to find for magnets. $4 for 50. Even if you go to Michael's, you're going to end up paying I think something like $5.27 for under 50 of them. So trust me, I've done my homework, so I know. And also from Michael's, I buy, they call them decorative fillers. So of course they're glass beads, and they go by another name. They're called cabochon beads, and they're clear glass. And this is what you're going to use to actually make the magnet with the skin. And so I will show you how I do this. Now I do sets of 6 magnets that I then put on my page to sell. So what I do is you look at your paint skin and you just kind of move it around until you kind of see a design like that you think is kind of cool, looks pretty neat, and then you just put them there so you know exactly where you want them. And you may also have to try to kind of space things out just so that you can get more than 1 or 2 on your spot. So once you find the place that you want it, you take your epoxy glue, and now you don't need a ton, because when you push this down, it is going to spread out, because you only want a thin layer. So I do a good dollop in the middle. I place it down on the spot that I want and press firmly, so that way all of the air bubbles will come out of that glue, and then you will have a really, really nice finish once it dries. And so you continue to do that with them until you use up as much or all of the paint skin that you have. And you can also buy these glass beads in a larger size as well, which I have also done. I have my larger magnets and then the small ones. I find the large ones are not as convenient to use as the smaller ones are. And so I tend to gravitate to do these ones more. So, okay, so I did those three just to show you that process. Then once I've done them all, I will then go back and then just press again just to reinforce that all the air bubbles are out. Okay, so now this takes at least 24 hours to cure and dry. And you don't want to do it too soon, because then as you're cutting out your bead, you may find that the paint pulls or the glue will stretch, and then you're going to ruin your paint skin underneath. So now over here, I have already done these ones. So once they were dry, I cut them out, and all you do is you just take a regular pair of scissors and you take your skin and then you just cut out your bead, and then you just do a very nice cut around so that it should look like this on the bottom. And you want to make sure that your paint is covering the whole bottom, because if you've got little bits and pieces missing, you're going to see that on wherever you put your magnet. You're going to see the clear kind of shine through, and it's not going to look as nice. So I went ahead and I did these ones. These ones are already dried. They're cut out. And so now the next step is taking your magnets that are really well stuck together, and then you take your epoxy glue once again. And I always use a paper towel because I want to protect these so that they don't get scratched in any way. And so you put now you can either put the glue on directly on the magnet, or you can put it on the bottom of your paint skin. Either way, you just have to make sure that when you're pressing it together, that any excess glue that you have, you want to wipe away, because you don't want to have big blobs of glue on the edges. And once again, you're pressing as firmly as you can to eliminate any air bubbles in there, so that that magnet is gluing directly onto that paint skin. And then once you're happy with how that is, you flip it up so that the glass bead is face down and your magnet is face up. And you also, I recommend this hugely, that when you are gluing them and putting them down, to please remember to space everything at least by a good 1 to 2 inches apart. Otherwise, if your magnets are strong enough, and these ones are pretty strong, they will come together and they will join, and then you might mess up your magnets because of that, because the magnet will shift with the glue, and then then you'll be really, really unhappy. So that is my recommendation. And so these will also take about 24 hours. I sometimes give them 48 hours just to ensure that the glue is completely dried and cured, and then you'll be able to use them on any metal surface. These magnets are also strong enough that they work on a beveled fridge, because I know a lot of the newer fridges have like a beveled coating on them, and these work really well on those as well. So there you have it. That is how you utilize your paint skins and make some very nice decorative magnets. Thanks for watching. Bye.